Shattered Trust, A Tale of Love and Betrayal. An original short story by Fable Frames. In the grand tapestry of my life, the threads of love and trust were woven together, creating a picture of a world that was warm, secure, and filled with joy. But in one cruel stroke, that tapestry was torn apart, the threads of love and trust unraveled, leaving behind a gaping hole that echoed with the pain of betrayal. The man I had loved for 7 years, the man I had envisioned a future with, was now a stranger. The betrayal was not just his, but also of my childhood best friend, the one person I thought I could trust implicitly. The pain was not just physical, but a deep, gnawing ache that seemed to consume my very soul. Ethan was his name, a name that once made my heart flutter with love and adoration. He was 28, just a year older than me, and worked as a software engineer in a reputed tech firm. He was tall, standing at a good 6 feet, with a lean build that spoke of his love for outdoor activities. His hair was a messy mop of chestnut curls, often falling over his deep-set, emerald green eyes. Those eyes, once a source of comfort, now seemed cold and distant. His laughter, which used to be my favorite melody, now echoed in my ears like a haunting refrain. We had met in college, our paths crossing in a computer science class. Our friendship had quickly blossomed into love, a love that I thought was strong and unbreakable. My best friend, or so I thought, was Lily. We were the same age, our birthdays just a week apart. We had known each other since we were toddlers, growing up in the same neighborhood, attending the same school, sharing secrets, dreams, and fears. Lily was the epitome of vivacious beauty, with her fiery red hair cascading down her shoulders, her freckled face always lit up with a radiant smile, and her hazel eyes sparkling with an infectious zest for life. She was a school teacher, her love for children evident in her chosen profession. But now, her image was tainted, her actions painting her in shades I never thought I'd associate with her. The day I discovered their betrayal is etched into my memory, a painful reminder of the fragility of trust. It was a day like any other, or so I thought. I had decided to surprise Ethan at his apartment, armed with a bag full of his favorite takeout and a heart full of love. I had taken the day off from my job as a graphic designer, planning to spend the day with Ethan, reminiscing about the good times and making plans for the future. As I walked up the stairs to his apartment, my heart was filled with anticipation. I could already picture his surprised smile, his eyes lighting up at the sight of me. But the scene that greeted me as I unlocked the door using the spare key Ethan had given me years ago was one that would haunt me for the rest of my life. There they were, in the living room I had helped Ethan decorate, their bodies entwined in a lover's embrace. The sight was like a punch to my gut, the air in my lungs escaping in a gasp of disbelief. The bag of takeout slipped from my numb fingers, the sound of it hitting the floor slicing through the thick silence. They pulled apart, their faces reflecting shock and guilt. But it was too late, the damage was done. The silence was broken by my own sobs, the sound echoing through the apartment. I could see Ethan and Lily scrambling to their feet, their mouths opening and closing as they struggled to find the right words. But there were no words that could mend the damage, no words that could erase the image that was now burned into my memory. The days that followed were a blur of tears and heartache. I confronted Ethan and Lily, demanding an explanation, seeking some sort of closure. But their words, their apologies, their excuses, they all fell on deaf ears. The trust was broken, the love I had for them replaced by a bitter sense of betrayal. I spent countless nights crying myself to sleep, the image of Ethan and Lily together haunting my dreams. I felt lost, adrift in a sea of despair. The pain was unbearable, a constant reminder of the love I had lost, the friendship that was ruined. But as the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, I realized that I had to pick up the pieces of my broken heart. I had to move on, not for Ethan, not for Lily, but for myself. I deserved better, I deserved to be loved and respected. I started by cutting off all contact with Ethan and Lily. It was hard, letting go of the people who had been such a significant part of my life. But it was necessary, a crucial step towards healing. I immersed myself in work, in hobbies, in anything that could distract me from the pain. I also sought therapy, realizing that I needed help to navigate through the storm of emotions that threatened to consume me. It was during these sessions that I learned to forgive, not for Ethan or Lily, but for myself. I learned to let go of the anger, the bitterness, the resentment. I learned to accept that people make mistakes, that people change, that not everyone who claims to love you will respect you. The journey to healing was long and arduous, filled with moments of despair and loneliness. But with each passing day, I felt a little stronger, a little more hopeful. I learned to love myself, to value myself. I learned that I was not defined by Ethan's betrayal or Lily's deceit. I was more than that, I was stronger than that. Today, I stand tall, my heart still bearing the scars of the past, but stronger and more resilient. I have learned to trust again, to love again. But this time, I do so with caution, with the understanding that not everyone deserves my trust, my love. The betrayal by Ethan and Lily was a painful chapter in my life, a chapter that I wish I could erase. But it was also a chapter that taught me valuable lessons, lessons about love, trust, and self-worth. It was a chapter that shaped me into the person I am today, a person who is stronger, wiser, and more resilient. In the end, I realized that heartbreak is not the end of the world. It is merely a stepping stone, a painful yet necessary part of the journey towards self-discovery and growth. And for that, I am grateful. I am grateful for the lessons, for the growth, for the strength. I am grateful for the journey, as painful as it was. Because in the end, it led me to a place of self-love, self-respect, and self-worth. And that, I believe, is the greatest gift of all.